thanks again for checking in with us. I'm here at another stop along the Pro Farmer Crop Tour. We're over in Springfield, Illinois, and I have two of the local agronomists here with me. As we've gone through this, I've continued to talk about what are the local conditions, what's the crop look like in this area, how much rainfall have you had, and Brent, why don't you share with us what it's like in southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, the area that you've come from?
Sure. So far this spring, we started with a few challenges earlier in the spring. Memorial Day weekend, there was some frost that hit a lot of the growers in southern Wisconsin and parts of northern Illinois, but overall the rains have been consistent in northern Illinois, and really haven't seen a lot of the high rainfall that would leach a lot of the nitrogen out. So it's been a good crop year for a lot of northern Illinois. In the Princeton area, there's a lot of growers that think it could be some of the best crop they've seen so far yet. So yeah, I think
that was one of my questions I wanted to ask. Is this one of their top 3 in history up there, or is this really that good?
Well, I was out sampling the other day at our R3 timing at our demo farm, and one of the growers down the road, he stopped me and just asked what I was doing, and he was telling me he thinks it could be one of the best crops he's seen all his time farming, so up in that area.
Well, that's what every farmer starts with in February, right? This is going to be my best year ever. So Ryan, why don't you share with us, all the viewers probably know I stopped and talked to Brian Tom already, but Ryan, you can share with us a lot more about how much rainfall we've had in central Iowa and some of the other areas you're familiar with, what kind of season it's been for you.
Yeah, so here in central Illinois, west central Illinois, it's been extremely wet all season, and in fact some of the local seed dealers complained that they had more replant this year than they've ever had before. So it's kind of a testament to how much water we had early, and then once the crop got in the ground, we did have nice timely rains, and with production practices the way they are now with split applications of nitrogen, and it seems like everybody sprays fungicide anymore. It seems like we've got a pretty good crop going. I just pull a couple years out, and you can see that something like this had planted at 38,000 is going to give us a really nice bumper crop. And so even though it was wet early, I think we ended up getting the crop in. It's going to look pretty good.
Well, guys, one of the things you've both talked about is rainfall. It's rained a lot. How is their nitrogen programs work out? So, Brent, if you want to go first and tell us a little bit, and then we'll talk about proven use.
Yeah, so just asking about how the nitrogen programs are.
Yeah, so what's it like in Wisconsin? What are the local growers doing in your area for a nitrogen program? And then with the heavy rains we have now, kind of how has proven responded in that?
Sure. Well, in Wisconsin, we run the gamut when it comes to nitrogen programs. Big dairy state, so a lot of manure goes out early in the season, or before the corn gets planted, and
right.
There's a lot of liquid UAN that gets put out, and some guys are doing the wide drops, so it runs all over the place. But in some of those areas, proven's looking good. We've had some of our demos in central Wisconsin, and we got some tissue tests back, and proven 40's winning every time, so that's promising.
Yeah, that's the consistency we're always looking for in a product performance. Ryan, how about some of the nitrogen programs and overall use and your response to proven 40 use?
Yeah, like Brent said, nitrogen programs really vary wildly depending on region and grower, and I think here in Illinois, guys have really adopted a split application practice, whether it's side dressing or wide dropping. So we're pretty confident a lot of growers are at least going out with 2 applications. Even though they're doing that, we have seen a lot of nitrogen stress here coming on from R3 on, and like Brent said, with all of our tissue sampling efforts, we're seeing proven 40 show up in those side-by-sides, and it's kind of comforting to know that at least you have a set amount of nitrogen that you can rely on early on when it rains like this and your synthetic is moving all over the place.
Well, we're glad to see proven and proven 40 both work. We're looking forward to the launch of proven 40 here in the next week. And thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
Yep. Thanks, Ernie.
Thanks, everybody.